Good evening everyone and welcome to BSRTV for this, the 6th race meeting of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship presented by Engine Oil Direct. We are here at Spa Francorchamps live on YouTube and I'm Andrew Woodhouse joined by Adam Bath for round 16.
Good evening Andrew, good evening everyone. Welcome to the second half of the season, 15 races to go and the championship is still wide open and Spa it's a brilliant track for the Kia Optima, and I think we're going to see some pretty frantic racing tonight.
Yeah, welcome back to you as well, Adam, and a couple of weeks off. Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I had a great time. However, I did miss the BSRTC, and I'm really happy to be back.
Must admit, we had some cracking stuff in Interlagos. Quite some chaos at the start, and I think this time we've got potential chaos here at Spa as always. Just take you through the grid quickly. Top 10 for this first round. We've got Wojciech Sredovic, the championship leader. He starts on pole ahead of Stefan Hoog. And then Adekoba Lopez is on row 2 ahead of Jeroen Kaiser with a great qualifying performance. Graham Carroll is 5th ahead of David Baker. Jamie Rushworth 7th ahead of Andreas Katz. And then Ashley Sutton qualified 9th, so he's going to get shoved to the back for piling up the infringements during the season so far. So Stefano Giuriali is promoted to 9th place. Adam, do you have the championship standings for us?
So at the moment, Wojciech Sredovic, as you said there, Andrew, he's leading the points by 130 over Stefan Hoog. So Hoog doing the best job he could in qualifying. He was only 700ths away from Sredovic, so he's right with his championship contender. Then in 3rd place in the championship, it's Jamie Rushworth, with Simon Fields in 4th. And Andreas Katz in 5th. And David Baker, he's dropped down to 7th place now after a bit of a bad weekend at Interlagos. That's allowed Russell Layla to go up into 6th place. And then rounding out the top 10 in the points is Linus Bostrom in 8th, Ashley Sutton in 9th, and Darren Kraft in 10th position.
Knowing David Baker, we want to get back up to that 6th position as soon as possible. Yeah, Spa Francorchamps, it's quite a contrast from Interlagos last week. Short laps there, about 1 minute 30, 1 minute 40, and then here 2 minutes, we're looking at 2.5 minute marker here. Adam, you see the front two there, Sredovic and Hoog have been two of the standout drivers of the season so far. Do you see the victory being fought out between those two guys as we approach the end of qualifying, the end of the warm-up, sorry?
Yeah, I think the first race is merely going to be between those two because 3rd place in the championship, Jamie Rushworth, he's starting a bit further down in the pack, but we've seen practically in every single race this season, in race 2 and 3, we've seen the championship contenders work their way back up to the front, and yet they were still battling for positions. We saw Hoog and Sredovic collide as well in Interlagos, so I think we're going to be seeing them once again battling it out for the lead.
It could definitely happen here, and the win may be determined by who gets into Lecum first on the first lap as the warm-up is now over.
Yes, and we're looking at the team standings at the moment. Team O are leading the points by quite a substantial margin over Elite 220. We saw the driver standings rather earlier. Team O have got all 4 of their drivers inside the top 20. And Andrew, I think that's really helping their team's championship campaign.
Yeah, we spoke to Dave last week, and he was saying about the consistency of the team. They've always had that. And I think that's showing through this season. They've had some good luck, they've had some bad luck as well. Got Jeroen Kaiser up there as well in 4th position today, so he's going to be backing up Stefan Hoog hopefully. Great performance by him. In fact, Dave is in his customary 6th position as well, so 3 Team O cars in the top 6. I think we're going to see another great day for them in the championship, so we are not far away then from the start of the race. Round 16 at Spa Francorchamps is going to get underway. Now as the green light is on, and you can see that it's a really good start from Adekoba Lopez from the 2nd row. And can Stefan Hoog manage to force his way through as we go up Pont Rouge for the first time? Hoog's actually through into the lead.
Yes, a fantastic start by Stefan Hoog. He's up into the lead, but Sredovic might be able to get him back as we head into Lake Com for the first time. And look at Lopez. Lopez could be trying to get 2nd place. Look at that, 4 wide in the background.
Good grief.
And here comes, they're going to go 3 abreast for the lead. And it's going to look like, looks like there's going to be carnage in the midfield. Sredovic goes back round the outside of Hoog into Lake Com though, and takes the lead back from Hoog.
That's slightly cautious from Stefan on the way into the Cum. I think Wojciech had the yeah, he had the speed, and he managed to carry that and make the corner. We saw somebody off in the background.
It involved, I think, Ashley Sutton. There was a big crash on the grid as well. Ashley Sutton, of course, starting at the back of the grid, so he got involved in a bit of misfortune there. So as we head out of turn 7, the corner with no name, and down to Puon for the first time, it's Wojciech Savidovic that leads, Stefan Hug second, Tadej Lopez in third, Jerome Kaiser fourth, and Graham Carroll is in 5th place.
Hey, I think if you're Stefan Hug, you have to at least stay on the tail of Savidovic throughout this race. Use the slipstream, you get a lot of it here in Spa, down the Kemmel Straight especially. Has a little look up into the Fania chicane, and you see that Hug is not giving up. He had the fastest car in the first race at Interlagos, didn't turn it into victory, but here he's going to be determined. You have to bear with us as well, 43 cars on the grid. If we don't see something, we'll try to go back and see it again, but we can't catch everything, Adam. Stuff moves so quickly in this series.
Yes, it is, and as we head down to Blanchimont for the first time, Stefan Hug just in the wheel tracks of Savidovic. An update for you on Ashley Sutton, he is in 25th place at the moment. And as we head
not too bad, really.
Yeah, not too bad considering he might have had a bit of contact at the start. And look at Stefan Hug running out over the AstroTurf. He's already trying to shape up a move on Savidovic as we head down to the bus stop, and he needs to keep a watchful eye because Tadej Lopez nearly tried to lunge down the inside there. So we're coming around to complete the first lap. The finish line is on the Grand Prix straight, even though the start line is on the run down to Eau Rouge. So we've just come around to complete the first lap now, and Savidovic is still in the lead.
Yeah, well, thanks for telling me that, Adam. I wouldn't have realised otherwise where the finish line was, but there it is, and yeah, down towards Eau Rouge again. I think it's going to be cat and mouse throughout this one. You're going to see slipstreaming battle, but getting a move done, it's always fairly tough here at Spa in terms of in equal cars. Always quite difficult to outbrake the other man. It's welcome to Lecombe, but we're going to see if Stefan Hug can actually do that now as they go through the right-hand kink, and Savidovic moves to the inside line. Stefan Hug to the outside now. So drawing level with Savidovic. This long straight, you can see them stretching out a long way back, and Hug outbreaks Savidovic on the outside of Lecombe. Great move to take the lead again.
Yeah, he did what Nico Rosberg wanted to do in the Grand Prix, and he takes the lead. Ashley Sutton, by the way, is in the pit lane. He is now down to 34th place. And Savidovic, even though he's trying to get back onto the attack, trying to get past Stefan Hug, Tadej Lopez, the wild cars there, is desperately trying to get past them as well.
Lopez, former champion of this series, he's there in 3rd position. You see Jeroen Kaiser, he's still hanging on in 4th, ahead of Graham Carroll. So it's Timo and Apex Racing TV, they're battling throughout the top 5. There's Andreas Katz now. He's actually in 6th place for Karcher, and you see Jamie Rushworth actually 7th now. David Baker, not a great start for him. He's lost 2 positions. Simon Field 9th, and Steve Walker in 10th. So another good run for Steve Walker. It was, at least he's in the pits at the end of lap 1. He was in 10th place.
Yeah, and he's now down to 33rd position, along with Ashley Sutton, who's down in 34th position. So I don't know if Jamie Rushworth will be happy having to battle with a Pro-Am driver. He wants to get onto the back of Andreas Katz, who is battling with the likes of Graham Carroll and Jeroen Kaiser.
Stefano Giuriali is in 12th. He's heading that next group. So we see Giuriali ahead of Graham, Robert Graham having a good run, and then Richard Wilde, Robert Plumley, Adam Terry, Daniel Hunt, so DEG sort of in the midfield today. Ben Gregory, Aaron Gearing, Janowski, and then Heffen. That's your top 20. See Laidler down in... Laidler was in 21st place, but he's actually... I think he's dropped down now. He's behind Niels Jordan and Steve Richardson, so he's had a little drama on this lap as Laidler. As he goes wide at once, oh, you can see that actually. Front right corner is knackered.
And also Graham Carroll is alongside Jeroen Kaiser. They're side by side into La Source, and Carroll going to go around the outside. Yeah, bit of contact there, and once again it's hard to look where we want to look here because the battle for the lead is changing as well. Stefan Hug is still in the lead, and Carroll manages to get past Kaiser and is now up into 4th place. But here comes Jamie Rushworth. Jamie Rushworth capitalising brilliantly down the inside of Katz into Eau Rouge, and now he is up into 6th position. There's one of the CQR cars emerging from the pit lane as we head up the hill towards Les Combes, and Kaiser and Carroll are at it again as we head up to Les Combes.
Kaiser with slightly better straight line speed, pulls into the slipstream again, looks to the inside at Lecombe. We see also Koba Lopez and the leaders were starting. Savidovic actually into the lead now. through Lecombe again, so trading places on every lap pretty much those guys. There's Rushworth and Katz. Rushworth trying to go around the outside of Malmedy. That's brave. See if he can carry that down to Rivage, Adam.
Yeah, and Lopez is side by side with Stefan Hug as we head out of turn 6 down to the corner with No Name. Lopez going to try and go around the outside, but I think he's going to have to get out of it as we head down to P1. So Stefan Hug holds on to his second place. Graham Carroll is in 4th now with Kaiser in 5th, Katz in 6th, and Jamie Rushworth is down to 9th.
But Rushworth making a bit of a mistake, I think, there. And he's lost out big time, and he's actually just in front of the lapped car of Ashley Sutton now.
Yeah, so everything seems to have settled down, but without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to pick up once again. Poor Stefan Hug, though, he's starting to drop behind Wojciech Savidovic. Adeko Lopez is putting him under immense pressure as we head through Stavelo and down towards Blanchimont once again.
Just shows, doesn't it, Adam, the slipstreaming effect that we were talking about. That it looked like Hug was fairly safe in the lead, wasn't it, that time going through Eau Rouge, and not so when we got to Lecombe.
And it just shows you how long a lap is here at Spa, because Stefan Hug once was in the lead and now he's just over half a second behind Wojciech Savidovic as we head down to the bus stop. We're going to get 5 laps to go here. Dako Lopez closing right onto the back of the Team O car as we head through the bus stop and out onto the start-finish straight. Andreas Katz in the background of your shot there is right onto the back of Jerome Kaiser. We'll see if he can get a move done down into La Source, but he needs to watch out because Pro-Am driver Ben Gregory, he's right behind him as well.
We're already on to lap 4 of 8 here at Spa Francorchamps, and actually we will try and cover the whole field if we can at some point, but this battle for the lead is too good to take our eyes off at the moment. Can Stefan Hug now use the slipstream and do exactly what his rival has done on the last lap to haul himself back towards the lead? As you see 2 cars exiting the pits, might be an unsafe release for one of the DAG cars who clearly crossed the white line, and somebody crashing into the fence as they go down the straight. Your own Kaiser and Graham Carroll actually side by side. I think Carroll got to slow down through Eau Rouge, Adam.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Andrew, and as we head into Lecombe, Stefan Hug did use the slipstream to his benefit. He's managed to close the gap down to just under half a second as we head through Malmedy and down to turn 6. The gap between the top 3, 1 second.
I wonder actually, Adam, if the previous lap when Davidovic went through, I wonder if Stefan Hug made a slight mistake through Eau Rouge, and that might have been where he lost a bit of momentum, because that can happen easily, can't it?
Yeah, and we've seen in numerous series such as Formula 1 and sports cars, if you just don't get the right line for Eau Rouge, you lose massively down the straight towards Lecombe. And thankfully this time around Stefan Hug got his line right, and we're going to look at the battle now for 10th position, which is between the likes of Jamie Rushworth, Stefano Giuriali and Robert Graham.
Adam Terry now is ahead of that pack, so Giuriali must have made a mistake somewhere, and he's ahead of Wild and then Daniel Hunt. So 3 DEG cars are surrounding Giuriali. Robert Graham, then it's Gregory, and then Plumley, I believe, is still in there alongside Julian Janowski. So Janowski trying to go around the outside of Plumley. If he can keep it there for the second part of the finish chicane, there's a bang doors a little bit there, and round the left-hand part down towards Stavelo, which is Alex's favourite corner. As we go downhill, take a little bit of the curb on the inside if you're Plumley, and but it didn't work out for him there as we head through Paul Frere and up towards Blanchimont.
Yeah, and something must have happened to Ben Gregory because he was fighting with the likes of Jamie Rushworth, but now he's down in 15th place. So the order's being mixed around a bit now. Savidovic still,
so there's a movement to Blanchimont from Wild was having a look. And a very difficult place to pass through there, isn't it?
Yeah, usually we see if anyone tries to overtake through there, they usually go around on the outside, but Richard Wild is going to close onto the back of Giuriali.
Katz, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Andreas Katz has spun or had an issue because he's now down to 9th position, so not going well there. And now he's under pressure from the DEG cars we head down the front straight.
Oh, he got tagged by David Baker going into the bus stop. I wonder if Alex can get a replay of that, but it looked very much like the Button and Vettel situation from a few years ago where David got very out of shape under braking, just clipped the rear end of that Karcher car, sending him, unfortunately for Andreas, headfirst into the fence.
Yeah, and he sustained quite a bit of damage. He's down in 12th place now. He was very slow going down the front straight. I don't know whether that was a result of a slowdown penalty, but he's now under pressure from 13th place driver Dan Hunt and 14th place Robert Graham as Dan Hunt tries to go around the outside down the straight towards Lecombe.
I think he may have got a slowdown penalty for going across the bus stop chicane after his incident, which I can understand. He's trying to get back on as quickly as possible. As you see Giuliani now, Giuliani and Adam Terry, that's the Rosberg and Hamilton situation through Le Combe, except they keep it clean this time. Terry holding it on the inside line. Giuliani just places his car and there's a spin there. That's Katz again. That's one of the DEG cars across the straight.
Dan
Hunt, yes.
Were side by side through the Le Combe chicane. I don't know whether it ended up in contact there, but once again their races are ruined.
And having to take avoiding action was Ben Palmer and also Daniel Kraft, who looks like he's got some damage as well. Kraft is a former top 10 contender in this series, so he is actually it's like he's struggling with a lot of damage, as you see at the front. Svidovic now he's still in the status quo with Hug, isn't he? He hasn't really pulled away that much.
Yeah, if anything, Hug is much closer to him. We're coming around to, believe it or not, start the closing stages of this race, and this battle is still on. Either three of those drivers could win. They've pulled away from 4th place driver Jerome Kaiser, who's now around about 8.4 seconds behind the rest of them. And as we head through Blanchimont, Stefan Hug could be lining up Svidovic for a move down into the bus stop chicane. Svidovic puts a wheel over the curb. That might have unsettled the car. Will Stefan Hug have a lunge down the inside? He has a look, but surely he does not have enough speed or room to get past the Apex Racing TV car as we come out of the bus stop to start another lap.
Lopez carried a lot of speed into the bus stop, not so much out of it, as he's put himself at a slight disadvantage. Sometimes, Adam, it's actually beneficial, isn't it, to leave yourself a tiny bit of room before the run down through and up through Eau Rouge, because you can pick up that slipstream and catch them just the right moment, can't you, at the end of the straight.
Yeah, you don't want to be too close to them, otherwise you may result in contacts or a bit of understeer as we head up the hill. And we're about to see that now as we head through Eau Rouge. 3 laps to go. And can Stefan
see that understeer, sorry Adam, that you mentioned there through with Hug's car. He just couldn't hold the line on the inside.
Yeah, he went over the rumble strips in FIA sanctioned races. I don't know whether that would result in a penalty. Look at Svidovic though, right on the inside line, moves back over to the normal line now, and Lopez has a little bit of a look. Hug firmly shuts the door in the Elite 220 car's face, and as we head through Le Combe and through Malmedy once again, Svidovic still holds on to that lead.
Hard to judge, isn't it, how quick a Jacobo Lopez is, because he's the only one of the 3 that actually hasn't held the lead. At some point he's gone in very deep there, and I think he's made contact with Stefan Hug.
And also in the background there's a bit of carnage. Jamie Rushworth was off, and it means now that David Baker is up into 4th, Kaiser into 5th, and Rushworth down to 6th. For a moment,
Carroll's off around the outside of Rushworth through Rivage. Rushworth pulls a Magnussen and he's hitting he's in the wall. Yeah, Carroll just he wasn't having any of it, and results in contact.
Poor Jamie Rushworth. I think he made a bit of a mistake going into Le Combe, because it showed up on my timing screen that he was in 4th place, so he made a bit of a mistake.
Oh, and Simon Field through Pouan. Sorry Adam, that's a very difficult place to pass.
And he's side by side with the Apex Racing TV car of Graham Carroll as we head through to pit path or the Fania chicane. It's really up to you how you define it. And look at Simon Field round the outside of Graham Carroll. Will he have the inside line for the left-hander? But it means that Carroll will have the inside line for the right-hander into Stavolo. This is brilliant racing here between the Engine All Direct car and the Apex Racing TV car. Simon Field can't get the cutback done though, so they're going to be bumper to bumper through Blanchimont.
Did get a fantastic exit, didn't he, Field from Stavolo, but all that excitement hasn't unsettled Graham Carroll. He's been driving beautifully with Field alongside him. Field pulls to the inside now. He's going to get that run through Blanchimont, and I think actually Carroll has just let him have it, thinking that he might be able to get a run back later on the next 2 corners.
Yeah, I think that was good by Carroll. A bit, yeah, it's fine because there was quite a bit of a gap back to the next car, which is Jamie Rushworth, 16 seconds in fact. So Simon Field is up into 6th and Carroll in 7th. Rushworth, even though he had that damage, is now in 8th place, and then rounding out the top 10 is Adam Terry in 9th, and in 10th place is Stefano Giuliani. So basically the top 7 are the ones that have kept their noses clean throughout the entire race. We're on the penultimate lap now, and Svidovic has got a 0.7 of a second lead over Stefan Hug.
I think Rushworth is quite lucky though that he's not out of this race. I mean, it wasn't a big hit, but those ones can definitely cause some damage to the suspension. So yeah, lap 7 of the first race here at Spa. 8 lap races tonight, and Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath with you for BSR TV. We've got Wojciech Svidovic in the lead, and and that's something we've been used to saying this season, but he's got company from Stefan Hug and Adeko Lopez. Adam, Adeko Lopez has to show his hand at some point, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's not really a factor in the championship. I think he's now a permanent fixture for Elite 220. We saw in Interlagos how he graciously moved out to allow Jamie Rushworth to take the win, but I don't think he wants to ruin any of these drivers' championships. But then again, he is a touring car driver. He might be a bit ruthless and might try to stick his nose in there as we're about to start the final lap. Last time around, Wojciech Savidovic definitely did a good lap. He did a lap time of 2 minutes 28.54, which was nearly half a second quicker than the likes of Stefan Hug and Adeko Lopez, but still that's not enough to escape from those two. The gap is back under half a second, and I think we could be setting ourselves up for a brilliant final lap.
Hug's had a slightly better lap this time. Well, laps to go. It's a massive battle for 12th place as well, as we can see. You have got Linus Bostrom at the front of that one, then Aaron Gearing, Robert Graham, Dan Blake's in there, Janowski, Matt Walker, Steve Hefford is there as well, so big train of cars there, a bit of a gaggle they would say, but and a lot of the Lugnuts Racing cars in there, Adam.
Yeah, the Lugnuts Racing team, part of the Pro-Am entry for this season. They are leading the Pro-Am Teams Championship by quite a bit over Karsha, and they're doing pretty good. They're inside the top 20, most of their cars, so doing a brilliant job. And once again, if we're going to move back to the front for the lead, out of the bus stop, the lead, the gap between the top three, less than a second. So it's anyone's guess who is going to win this race, as we are now on the final lap.
What BSR Touring Cars is all about. The close fight for some close fights for the lead. Had them all season, and we're getting another one here. Savidovic leads down towards Eau Rouge for the final time. He's got Stefan Hug right there. This driver right, waiting to pounce, but can he get close enough? I think he got a good run up the hill through Radion.
See if he can do it then. Through Radion up to Les Combes. Savidovic does what he needs to do, defends the inside line. Will Hug move to the outside and get him moved on around the outside? He did this earlier in the race. He's got the lead now. Is he going to get it done? Savidovic is going to get him. Oh, this is brilliant. And Hug takes the lead through Les Combes, but it's not over yet. Savidovic is going to try and get the cutback through Malmedy and down to turn 6. He's got no lap.
Contact between them, and Lopez has to avoid it.
He's through though. Savidovic down the inside. Yes, turn 6 contact.
Who's gone?
He's out on the outside line and down to turn 7, the corner with no name, and is Lopez going to try and get second as well. Savidovic gets the lead back. Hug holds on to second. It's the status quo once again, Andrew.
I think Lopez seemed to be very diplomatic there. I think he saw that Hug had been sort of nudged out of the lead, and I think he didn't want to get involved in this battle. Still time for Hug though if he gets a good run out of Pouhon. Through the Fanny chicane, down to Stavelot. We'll see what he can do. He needs to be close enough through Blanchimont though, Adam. I think he's still got a chance.
I saw nothing wrong there. That was proper touring car racing. That was fantastic. But Hug is right onto the back of Savidovic. If he gets a good run through Stavelot and up to Blanchimont, he might just be able to have a run into the bus stop chicane, but he better watch out because Lopez is right there as well. Through Stavelot and down to Blanchimont. An update on that battle that we were watching for 12th place. I think Robert Graham must have had an incident because he's now showing down in 29th place, but more on that later as we head into Blanchimont. Savidovic has got just under half a second advantage. It's all about the run that Hug can get through Blanchimont, which we're entering now. Through the left-hander, Savidovic puts a few wheels on the curb, runs out wide.
The AstroTurf as well.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, I think, for Hug to have a lunge down into the bus stop.
No, he's braking very late. He's thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to scare Wojciech out of the way, but Savidovic is going to come through and he's going to win this race.
What a brilliant race. Well done, Wojciech Savidovic. He's going to get the win. And Hug is second and Lopez third. Brilliant.
Great race. Really good driving for these guys. Let's see who's going to take fourth. Going to be David Baker, actually, who's beaten his teammate Jeroen Kaiser. So, good work from Kaiser. Baker gets through at the end there. Good stuff from him. Carroll, then Field. Then got Rushworth in 8th after the damage. Adam Terry in 9th. Stefano Giuriali is 10th. And then you got Wild coming over in 11th. And it looks like Ben Gregory's going to take 12th.
Yeah, good job by Jamie Rushworth. Even though he sustained quite a bit of damage, he managed to lap really quickly in those final few laps. Managed to nearly close in on the battle for 7th between Fields and Carroll. So Rushworth in 8th, and in the rest of the top 20, Wild 11th, Gregory 12th, well done for him in the Pro-Am standings, Aaron Gearing in 13th, Linus Bostrom 14th, Dan Blake, well done for him in 15th place, Julian Janowski 16th, Steve Hefford 17th, Andrew Whitehead in 18th, Robert Plumley in 19th, and Dan Crafts in 20th position. However, if you know, Ashley Sutton finished the race in 35th place, 5 laps down, and Andreas Katz 33rd, 3 laps down. So
neither of them will get any points.
Terrible race for those two in the championship. That's going to affect their position in the standings.
Hey, the unluckiest man, Adam, there was Matt Walker. He lost 7 seconds on the final lap, which meant that he dropped from what was, I think, about 14th, 15th place to 21st, which is out of the reverse grid area. So, fortunately for him, he will not be sitting on pole position for race 2.
Blimey, so a brilliant first race. I hope the rest of the evening's just like it. And who knows who's going to be on the pole position for race 2. The eligible cars, Dan Blake in 15th, Julian Janowski 16th, Steve Hefford 17th, Whitehead in 18th, Plumley in 19th, and Kraft in 20th. So one of those cars will be on pole position when we roll the race 2 dice.
Just in order to roll the race 2 dice, we'll bring on the host with the most, Alex Simpson, who's been enjoying that race from the director's box, so to speak.
Yeah, good fun race again. It's nice to be able to just sit back and watch it while you guys take the roll.
You're taking your demotion well then again.
Yeah, exactly. I've got my magic dice up on screen as usual. 3 little test rolls just to make sure everything's all good. Yeah, so 2 rolls of 15 and then 1 of 16, so the magic number will be 19th.
Dan Kraft will go on to pole position for race 2 with Robert Plumley for alongside him, and then it's Andrew Whitehead, so 2 CQR cars second and third, then Steve Hefford, then Dan Blake. So shaping up for a brilliant race 2. And in the last few races we've seen the championship contenders, which have started further back, like the likes of Savidovic and Hug, fighting their way through and ending up battling for the lead.
Yeah, they always seem to find their way to the front, don't they? Alex, I just want a quick word from you. So a lot of action up into Lake Coombe, a lot of clean racing there. You know, it's not always easy to do, is it, up there?
No, not at all. Having fallen victim of Lake Coombe in the World Championship this year, not at all. So yeah, no, good driving from the guys at the front there to get through their 2 wide's not easy. I mean, obviously we saw that in Formula 1, and like I say, I've got some terminal damage from there in my World Championship race, so it's really easy to get that all wrong up there. Just pick up slight knock of damage where you go wheel to wheel action. So yeah, good driving all round. A lot of overtaking, even a bit further back as well. There was a lot of great sort of 2 wide action all through that section.
I mean, I can't imagine, Adam, what the reverse grid's going to be like if we had so much overtaking in that first race.
Yeah, I expect to see quite a few safety cars into that first corner. We saw a safety car in race 3 last season, so expect it to appear possibly in race 2 or race 3.
I think luckily though we're not using La Source as the first corner, which might be a blessing in disguise for these guys. Who knows?
Yeah, it's quite a short run down to Eau Rouge, so they won't have built up too much of speed through there. But it's usually on the exit of Eau Rouge where we see all the carnage happen.
Yes, all it takes is for one car to spin on that Kemmel straight and block the track, and then you have absolute chaos like we saw in Interlagos. So I'll tell you what, guys, stick with us here on BSR TV. We're going to be back for the next round, which will be round 17 from Spa Francorchamps. Stick with us, and we'll be back in 10-15 minutes.